What's up, guys? Up the game here, and today we're here with.
Sameeh McLaurin. I'm from Sim Tours and I'm the head of operations at the company.
Nice, nice. Welcome, welcome. Can you just tell us a bit about some tours? I know everyone knows Eagle Performance, but nobody's really heard of this before.
So Sim Tour Eagles is basically a brand my manager Rustam Simon started. His objective, his goal, his dream was always to basically bring kids from different communities, different provinces together and form a team for them to be able to go overseas and experience what it is like to play on, I'm not going to say on the world stage, but in an environment where it's a little bit tougher, it's a little bit
Yeah,
different in a sense that you get to meet different people from different parts of the world. And most importantly, for instance, when a team go overseas, but this kid, you can't now go with him because he's not part of the team. Whereas we've done things on a different scale, where a kid that really wants to go overseas and get to experience a different country
yeah.
can basically register
You can
through,
help them.
obviously, with his parents and be part of a team. And that is basically what we've been
Nice.
doing over the last 10 years.
Okay, lovely. That's amazing to hear. And can you just tell us what is your role in some tours?
Okay, so basically, I'm the head of operations at the Sim Tours. My job basically is to make sure that everything is on par.
Okay,
The boys are sorted. The parents, if they have any inquiries, if they have any questions, I'm the person to assist them.
nice.
I'm basically the person to make sure that whatever activities we have, like for instance today,
Yeah,
it's sorted, it's arranged. The parents are informed well in advance, and most importantly, make sure that it's not a perfect day, but it's a successful day for all of our kids.
yeah. So you guys are going over as some tours and not Eagle Performance.
So the difference between Sim Tours and Eagles Performance Academy, Eagles Performance Academy actually started because of Sim Tour Eagles.
Okay.
Exactly what I just said now, where boys from different communities come together and form a team.
Yeah.
And because we started Eagles Performance Academy, it's because the parents that you've saw today, it's the exact same parents of 10 years ago that's been begging us to, start our own football club. And it came down to, our organization in terms of making sure that things are in place, how well we can organize activities, etc.
Yeah.
And then we sat back and we said, look, these boys that really want to be part of, who we are and what we stand for. And I'm not saying that we are perfect, never, but we try always our utmost best to do things because we love what we are doing.
Yes.
And I always say, if you do something because you love it, you have the passion for it, you're going to do it because you are sincere in your intentions.
Yeah.
And that is the difference between Sim Tour Eagles and Eagles Performance Academy. So the brand started 15 years ago.
Okay.
Yes, we started the club last year, but it actually started 10, 15 years ago.
Some Eagles.
Sim Tour Eagles,
Some
yes.
tour Eagles.
And that is where the club started because of what we've been doing over the last 10, 15 years
Nice.
in terms of, getting boys together, forming, a club. And we were always lucky to go overseas and do well overseas because, you put a team together, it's always about, are they going to play as a team?
Yeah.
And we've been seeing the success, and hence the reason why I would say today we are not the best team out there. We are not always successful, but rest assured that we will always give our best, and that is what we stand for.
So you guys are going to Spain in June, am I correct? June?
Yes, that is correct. We're
Okay.
leaving
Can-
on the 18th of June.
Oh, nice, nice. So you guys are all excited. The players are amped up.
Yes, we've just had, I would say 90% of our players that went for the visa application, the appointment.
Yeah.
That went quite well. We're in the process of receiving those passports, visas back. And yeah, we're excited. I'm normally the one, as you can imagine, together with our staff, that working hard behind the scenes. So the day I basically step onto that plane, then I will start getting excited. But for now, we still have a lot of stuff to do to ensure that everyone is on that plane.
Yeah. And is this the first time you will be traveling with the team?
No, over the last 6, 7 years, I've been traveling with the
Okay, nice.
company. Um, as you know, like I played semi-pro football at a young age, and at the same time, I think I was 17 years old. I had to stop playing football. But at the same time, also I wanted to become a pilot, and it's been always my dream. So now I get to travel. I get to be on the football field, something that I love. And most importantly, I'll always be grateful for the opportunity that I receive on a daily basis.
Nice. And can you just talk us through the tournament? It's called the Mad Tournament, right?
It's basically the Mad Cup. It
The
goes
Mad
after
Cup.
the city that we're going to, the Madrid Cup. It's basically, teams from all over the world. It's a massive tournament. The opening ceremony takes place in the new Wanda Stadium, which is the home of Atletico Madrid.
Okay, nice.
So it will be a very nice experience for the boys to step into that stadium with kids from all over the world.
Can you just name a few teams that's going to be there?
Basically, according to what we've seen, our research that we've done, and also what the organizers been posting on their social media platforms, teams as like Atletico Madrid, FC Porto will be there from Portugal.
Okay.
Teams like
United and City.
I haven't seen Manchester United, but I know a number of teams from the UK will be coming. A number of teams from the top European teams will be coming. Wow. The draw, I know it's a live draw. It's a massive event. Yeah. So obviously, the boys are quite excited to look forward to that live stream draw. But as far as I know, a number of European teams will be coming. But, I always tell the boys, we stand for experience, and we want these boys to experience these things so that we know the tour that they're going on to, not just on the footballing level, but most importantly, so that it can have an everlasting impact on their not footballing career, but on their personal career, because it must be, to a certain extent, it must be able to give them an insight about life out there.
True.
As a source of motivation, definitely. And yes, we can do it in Cape Town, we can do it in South Africa. Unfortunately, we are in this. We are in that position where we're taking boys overseas, and we're definitely going to make the most of it, not just on a footballing level, but on a life skills level as well.
They need that greater level of exposure. There's nobody to take them overseas and to get a chance to play that side. And luckily, some tours easier to do that for these kids.
No, definitely. We try our utmost best, and I always tell parents, like, I don't like dealing with kids when it comes to tours, because the kids, they don't realize that it costs a lot of money.
Yeah, and so it's not fun in games.
Exactly, and they put pressure on the parents. So the moment the kid make contact and they ask about the tour, the first thing that I ask for is the parents' contact details, so that the parent can make a decision and not the child for the parent, if you know what I mean. Because it's easy for me to get into a child's head, if you know what I mean.
Truly.
And then that child puts so much pressure on that parent. That parent needs nothing to himself. I'm not going to fail my kid. But if I deal directly with the parent, then at least the parent can make a decision on the spot and not with the pressure from the kid and things like that. Yeah.
And is there any way that kids outside of this Eagle Performance and some tours could join, or parents interested?
Definitely. So in the past, we've had kids from as far as New Zealand, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, kids from Bloemfontein, kids from Johannesburg that joined us. So it's not something that we started yesterday.
Yeah.
It's things that we've started in the past. And when I say Bloemfontein Celtic, Bloemfontein, we've had players from Bloemfontein Celtic itself that joined us, players from Kaizer Chiefs, players from Orlando Pirates. So we've been blessed, and you can see exactly where these kids are coming from.
Okay.
It's not just parents that you can, lie to, because we see that on a daily basis. The reason why I speak about it's because the community out there, they paint everyone with the same brush. People that know us, they know that, they deal with people that is sincere. And I'm not saying this is the only way for you to get someone to be developed. No, definitely not. Hence the reason why we have a club. But why we're doing this, it's because we love what we are doing.
Yeah.
And it's something that we're not going to, take the kids for a ride, the parents for a ride. Because if you look at our club, in my under 18 team, for instance, in that team alone, there's 4 kids that traveled with us back in 2018. Okay. That was close to 10 years ago. So we're always going to be here for our kids,
nice.
Regardless of where you play. If you play at another club,
and circumstances as well.
Exactly.
You take kids of all areas.
All areas. In 2018, I joined the company. 2017, 2018. I took 10 kids from Anova Park, where I come from, and they went with me to Dubai. I had one kid that plays in my under 18 team. He asked the air hostess to basically open the door because he wanted to go to the shop. Today, he's more responsible. He knows what it is to travel. He knows what it is to take responsibility of himself. And that is...
You asked him to open the plane door.
To open the plane door. I was watching a movie, and the air hostess, she came to me and she asked me, can I just look after the kids? And I said, why is there a problem, ma'am? She said, no, because he was standing by the door. He wants to open the door. I said, for what? No, he wants to go to the shop. I said, Chad, with my boy, here's everything on the plane for you. Here's cold drink, here's water, here's juice, here's luxuries, so everything.
One-stop air shop.
Which is a risk because you get to see, you know, people wanting to open doors. It can be a flight risk, but it's all part of, you know, the development at the end of the day, and that is, you know, what we stand for.
Nice, man. Thanks once again, Sameeh.
No problem.
And representing Eagle Performance and some tours. Can you just give a word of advice, you know, to up-and-coming players or anyone interested in joining the some tours?
I was actually asked a question yesterday. They were watching the ABC Mochepe League final, and they said, our colored people, sorry for speaking about race, said our colored people have so much talent. Why aren't they in the Bafana setup? And I don't know everything. I'm a person that educates myself every day, and you can ask, you know, people that knows me. That is just who I am. But personally, since you're asking me this question, you're obviously referring to our communities where I come from. My biggest advice to our kids and our, you know, players is just to be more respectful. You know, that sacrifices that we need to make. We can do it. We need to be more hungry for success. And when I say we need to be more hungry for success, if it asks you to be on training, don't come to training on the time that you need to start. It's the small things that we lack as people. I'm not just speaking on the footballing level, speaking on, you know, on your daily routine. You know, it's how disciplined we are as people. And I speak about it all the time to my players. You come onto the field, you kick long. You're not warmed up or anything like that. We get injured quickly. We don't eat properly. We're not disciplined enough. For example, I speak to my players. He won't say yes, coach. He won't acknowledge. So it's the small things that makes the difference.
Separate them.
And what I always say, our township kids, I love working with township kids because they know why they're working hard. They know why they're making the sacrifices. And it's very important. People might not agree with what I'm saying, but I'm going to basically call a spade a spade. You get, and I deal with kids from all different communities, as far as Botswana, Namibia, because we have kids that join our tours, our camps from these communities. If I look at them, they walk distances to training. And you ask yourself, why are they doing it? Because they know football, sports is the only way out for them. On the Cape Flats, where we're coming from, our kids, they give up after a time. And what do they fall back onto? They go into drugs. They stand on the corners. They might not be a gangster, but what's happening on the corners? That's where the murders take place on the Cape Flats. I know about it because I live on the Cape Flats. And I just feel on a mentality level, we need to get stronger as people. And I'm not saying if you're going to get all of these things right, you're going to be a professional footballer. I'm not saying that. But at least it's going to equip yourself with something that you're going to be ready for the world out there. So that's my advice. That's my stance on it. People might not agree with it, but you know, that is life.
Thanks, man. Thanks again
to you guys once again.
And
top stuff. As always,
and all the best on your tour to Spain.
Thank you very
and
much.
Safe journey, safe flight.
I'll bring you a gift.
Oh, shukran, man. Shukran.